How are you? So, in today's session, we are going to talk about libraries. And today, we are going to talk about some special libraries which are useful for data visualization. As you know, that in the field of data science, data analytics, machine learning, deep learning, and artificial intelligence, we are going to deal with data sets. And when we are going to deal with data sets, we do some operations on that. And after that, we have to visualize our data, that how it is gonna look like and how the trends is going up and down. And sometimes we have to make some dashboards and all. So while making dashboards, we have to make some graphs and charts. So basically, I'm gonna show you the libraries which are useful for making the graphs and charts in the Python. So let's get started in for these libraries. First, we will see we're gonna talk about these three libraries: Matplotlib, Seaborn, and Plotline. Basically, there are maybe more and more libraries in the data visualization task, but here these three libraries are enough to plot the graphs. If there is any need of that, if there is any need that we have to make or plot some special graph, then we're gonna make then we're gonna import the library which is helpful for creating that graph or plot. So, but here in the today's session, we are going to talk about these three libraries: Matplotlib, Seaborn, and Plotline. So, first of all is Matplotlib. Matplotlib is a plotting library for the Python programming language and its numerical mathematical extension NumPy. So basically, when we are going to plot some graphs or the charts in Matplotlib library, so we have to do some mathematical operations. And if we have to do or perform the mathematical operations, then we gonna use the NumPy library. So the Matplotlib library in its backend, the mathematical operations were performed. So to perform that mathematical operations, this NumPy library is used. And by using this NumPy library, they show they plot the graphs and charts to us. Next comes it provides an object-oriented API for embedding plots into applications using general-purpose GUI toolkits like tkinter, wxPython, Qt, or GTK+. When they perform the mathematical operations using the NumPy library, then they have to open a new window to show the graphs to perform the visualization task. And to perform this visualization task, this Matplotlib library use tkinter or wxPython or Qt or GTK plus. Among all of these GUI toolkits which are used for visualization tasks, Matplotlib use any of these according to their purposes. And these libraries are very important for the visualization task. And the next comes there is also a procedural PyLab interface based on the state machine like OpenGL, designed to closely resemble that of Matplotlib, through its use is discouraged though its use is discouraged. So basically, there is a PyLab interface based on the OpenGL state machine, and which is closely resembled to the MATLAB. MATLAB is also used for visualization tasks, although it is discouraged to use, but still it's gonna use. And if you want to refer the Matplotlib documentation, then you can just go here to see the documentation of this Matplotlib library. I add the link for that. And next comes the installation of Matplotlib. If you are using the simple Python, ideally that means integrated development learning environment, main Python, then you can just go on your CMD and type pip install matplotlib. And when you do this, the matplotlib library will get installed in your system, and you can use that matplotlib library in your Python ideally. And next comes, if you are using any IDE, let's say you are using the Anaconda. And if you are using the Anaconda, then you can write this command conda install -c conda -forge matplotlib in the Anaconda prompt. And when you just write this, then you can import this matplotlib library in your IDE like Spider or Jupyter. And if you are using any environment, let's say you are using any environment in your Python ideally, or you are using any environment in your Anaconda, then you have to just open your environment and type these commands: pip install matplotlib for the Python IDE, and conda install -c conda -forge matplotlib for the Anaconda environment. Next, after this, next comes the Seaborn. Seaborn is another library which is used to uh, perform the visualization task of the datasets like graphs and charts. And Seaborn is a library for making statistical graphical in Python. It builds on top of Matplotlib and integrates closely with Pandas data structures. So it is built on top of Matplotlib, and it is also very closely related to the Pandas library. Next comes the Seaborn, helps you explore and understand your data. And Seaborn helps you to explore and understand your data. And, basically, Seaborn majorly shows you some extra information in comparison to the Matplotlib, because as you know, as you can see here, Seaborn is built on the top of Matplotlib. So here basically Seaborn gets the all functions, gets the all benefits of the Matplotlib. Plus, if you want to add some new function, then Seaborn or definitely add some new functions which are not available in Matplotlib. That's why Seaborn helps you to explore and understand your data, because it has all the functions of Matplotlib and some more functions also. It its plotting functions operate on data frames and arrays containing whole data sets, and internally perform the necessary semantic mapping and statistical aggregation to produce informative plots. So basically, it is also operate on data frames of pandas and the arrays of the numpys, which contains the whole data sets. Which, like, if we are using the CSV file, then it will perform on data frames which is open by pandas library. And if we have the numpy arrays and we have data in the numpy arrays, then it is also operate on them. So it is basically very easy to use these data frames and numpy arrays to plot the graphs. And if you refer the documentation, full documentation of this Seaborn library, then here I add the link for this Seaborn library documentation. You can click and go to the documentation file. Next comes the install Seaborn. That if you don't have installed Seaborn, then how can you install the Seaborn library in your system? If you are using the Python IDE, or you are using any Python environment, then you can just open your CMD and open your environment and just write pip install Seaborn. And if you are don't having any environment, this then just write pip install Seaborn, and Seaborn libraries get installed in your system. Next comes the Anaconda. If you are using any Anaconda environment, then first activate your environment, and if you are don't, then the base environment is default activate. When you open the Anaconda prompt, the environment which is already opened is the base environment. So you have to just type conda install -c conda -forge pip install Seaborn, and conda install -c anaconda Seaborn in your Anaconda environment. The the Seaborn library will get installed, and you can just import your Seaborn library. And in tutorial and in coding session, I will also tell you about this, how you can import these libraries. So don't worry about that. Next comes the Plot9. Plot9 is an implementation of a grammar of graphics in Python. It is based on ggplot2. So basically, Plot9 is very different from Matplotlib and Seaborn. It is basically implemented on the grammar of graphics in the Python, and it is use ggplot2. It is a way to visualize your data. So it use different visualization than Matplotlib and Seaborn. Next comes the grammar allows users to compose plots by explicitly mapping the data to the visualized objects that make the plot. So here how the plots get executed. It is like it compose the plots by mapping the data to the objects. Next comes the plotting with a grammar is powerful. It makes custom and otherwise complex plots are easy to think about and then create while the simple plots remain simple. So basically, if you have a plot which is very difficult to understand, let's say if you have a line which is like something like this, ups and down, whole ups and down, it is like if you are open your plot in the matplotlib, it will seems like a mess and you don't want to see that. So you can use this plot 9 because it is using the grammar at its backend, so it makes this visualization much easier so that anyone can understand the visualization of that data. And if you want to go on the more deep and if you want to see the documentation for this plot9 library, then I just add the documentation link. You can just click on it and go to the documentation of this plot9 library. So if you don't have the library, then how you can install this plot9 library in your system? You can just open the cmd and you can just write pip install plot9 for the python ideally. And if you are using any environment, then just open your environment and write pip install plot9. Next comes the anaconda. If you are using the ide like spider, jupyter, or pycharm, and you can just use this, or you can just open your anaconda prompt, open your environment if you are using an environment, and just write conda install hyphen c conda forge plot9. And through this, the plot9 library will get installed in your system and you can just import the plot9 library in your system or your anaconda environment. So basically these are the not very big deal. It is easy to install, and this is for the plot9 library. So now let me show you the documentation of all of these libraries. So it will help you a lot in the future when you are start reading the documentation. So let me open this matplotlib. So this is the matplotlib library documentation. You can just go to the user guide how to install matplotlib. If there are any coming new versions in your in the near future, then you can just see how to install this matplotlib library. Then there are tutorials and what are the new things which are comes in the matplotlib library new versions, and what are the history of matplotlib and FAQs, API overview, how you can use this as an API, external resources, third party packages, and developer side. If you are a developer and see to make some changes in the matplotlib library, then you can just go here. And that's all. And if you are just a beginner, then I can recommend you just go on this installation guide, and moreover you go on these tutorials, then here you get to know about that how you can make the plots, and you can understand more things here. And you can just see intermediate graphs and introductory graphs, basic graphs, and some advanced graphs. Like here are some more changes in the graphs and textual data. So here are more things. If you are a beginner, then you can just go here, and if you are an intermediate, then you can just then you also can go here and get to know about many things for this matplotlib library and Seaborn library. So let's go to the documentation of Seaborn, and this is the documentation for the Seaborn library. And here, as you can see, this is how you can import the Seaborn library, Seaborn as SNS, and this is how you can see the plots. And there are many other new options which are not available in matplotlib. You can see how good visualization are in the Seaborn library. So if you can use the matplotlib and Seaborn if you want, anyone you want, but moreover Seaborn is much better than matplotlib because there are many other functions in Seaborn. But if you want to make some basics graph only, then you can also use this matplotlib library. So these are the some graphs and their visualization how they can perform in Seaborn library. Next comes the plot9 library. So let's open the documentation for this library. And this is the documentation for the plot9. You can see how you can just import the ggplot and other things and to perform the plotting task in for your data sets. And here are other references like how you can use this API reference, installation guide, gallery, change log about plot9 tutorials. And if you are a beginner, then you can just go on these tutorials and follow this tutorial. It will help you a lot. Next comes the glossary for common terms, external resources, and other things. So that's all for the today's session about the libraries which are helpful for the data visualization. That's all for the today, and I want you to do more R&D work on these libraries, that how they work and how you can do more and more plots, because I can't tell you all plots in just one session. It will take a lot of time. So it is all depends on you, that how you can just grab more things and how you can perform. And it is also all depends on you, that how much you do the hard work in the coding session, in these codings, that how you can do these things. So it will benefit you either way, if you are just doing these things one time and another time, or doing these things repeatedly, or if you are just looking for new things. So I want you that you just do some R&D on these libraries and search about them more and more. So that's all for the today's session. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care. Stay motivated and keep learning.